Hello everyone, this is Gary Tonnencourt from morethanasnapshot.com. Welcome to week 4 of the Create Challenge. In week 4, we're going to talk about goals. It's going to be a year-long project, so you want to have well-defined goals to keep you on track throughout the year. We're going to talk a little bit about SMART goals. It's a common thing that many workplaces use, and it may give us a little bit of help in designing ours, but truthfully, not all of the parts of the SMART goal applies to this little project, but we can kind of use that as a template anyway. So I'm going to take you over to the page that has some SMART goal information on it. And here you can see the different parts of a SMART goal and how we want to think about that in relation to our project. So the first part of it is whatever goal you pick should be very specific. So this one is kind of important to what we're doing. There's a couple things that I want you to think about. The first important thing is be specific about what you want to produce. Okay? Do you want to produce a website, a blog, a web gallery, maybe a gallery show, or a photo book, or a zine? There's all sorts of different photography type products that you could make with your images, and it doesn't have to be a product. I'm just calling it that. But basically, you want to think of some nice way to arrange your photos that you could use to share with your friends, family, and if you're getting more advanced, possibly even to sell. So for example, a calendar could make a good one, greeting cards, whatever inspires you. First, think about what you want to make. All right. The second thing, of course, that's important is you want to think about, now that you've done some research in week 3, you looked at some other people's photo projects. Now you want to think about what subject do you want to focus on. And so you want to be clear about, okay, I want to shoot a portrait, or I want to shoot a landscape. I want to try to emulate this style or create my own style, and then try to keep a consistent theme throughout. So think about what kind of subject you want to shoot. I think picking the type of end product you want to make and your subject and theme is, it's very important that you're very specific about those things. Now, some of these other things may not really apply to our project. Measurable, that doesn't really matter so much. You're going to produce something, and hopefully the measurable part will be that you'll just show it to the group by posting it in the blog post, and that we can all look at it and comment on it and things like that. Agreed upon, that doesn't really matter at all. No one's going to approve your project. This is totally for you. But being realistic, I think this one is very important. What I mean by realistic in this photo project is you could find some photo project that you really liked. For example, I had seen that photo project about the photographer who built models of toys and set up whole scenes that basically his project was to make the toys look real in the photos. And he did, Dukes of Hazzard and Star Wars, and he did a really great job. And I was thinking maybe that would be an interesting photo project to try. But when I really start to think about what would be involved in it, you have to be pretty artistic to be able to build a set, make the models, make it look real. It's not just, photographing that. So I am not a super artistic person in other pursuits like model building and things like that. So I think that would be a very tough project for me to do just because of my model building skills. Not to mention that a project like that could involve quite a bit of expense, buying all the models and the sets and everything like that. So you want to think about how involved this project is going to be and how expensive could this project be. So another example could be you might decide you want to photograph volcanoes, but you got to realize that the large expense in that of traveling to Hawaii to find these volcanoes. So in other words, keep it realistic. Pick a subject that is readily available, that may not cost you too much to put your project together. And especially if this is your first project, you want to try to keep that stuff as easy as you can. If you've done this sort of thing before and you want to make a much more advanced project and you have a little bit of a budget to put towards it, then by all means go for it. I can't wait to see what you would produce. Okay, time-based, the last thing on the list. Again, doesn't really matter that much, although in this project I'm setting a year as our time limit, and so you could build your project around that. Every month I'm going to be putting out themes that will help you to get to that end product within a year. So a year would be that amount of time. So go over to the blog post and get the toolkit, because I will post a SMART goals worksheet in there for you, maybe a very simple one and a little more advanced one. You can pick the one that works for you. And don't forget to, in the comments section of that blog post, tell us what your product's going to be, what your subject of the product's going to be, and anything else you want to tell us about your product or process or style, or tell us anything about your project, basically. So again, I'm very excited to see what you come up with, and this will be the last weekly video. So the next video will come out in a week, but it'll be about giving you an idea about how to start your project. And in the next month, you'll be taking photos dedicated to that. And the next time you share on the blog post, it won't just be text about your photography like we've been doing. It'll be actual photos. So I'm excited to get to that point, and we'll see you next time. Again, this has been Garrity Tonicourt from morethanasnapshot.com.